This should hopefully help you understand where your money should be going so that it brings the most amount of value to your life, not others. What's up, everyone? It's your man, Mr. Krabs.
Take two.
Hey, it's Tierno. Welcome to another episode of Middle Child Finance. And if you've seen any of our previous videos, you're probably thinking, man, Tierno doesn't spend money. And
you're damn right.
Excuse me, to clarify, I don't partake in reckless spending. That said, in today's video, I want to discuss money and spending it. What is money? Money is a medium of exchange that allows us to buy all kinds of goods and services. And to be clear, money is important. Anyone who tells you otherwise is speaking from a position of privilege that has more than enough to take care of themselves. That said, we need money in our modern society to survive. Now, growing up, I wasn't born rich, so like for many, money represented opportunity. Think about it. If you want to take trips across the country or help support the loved ones that you care about, or even just quit your job, you need money. Our most important finance principle is to spend less than you make, invest the surplus, and avoid debt. Now let's focus on that first part, to spend less than you make. To be clear, spending thousands to go live life to the fullest is perfectly okay, but spending thousands to go live life to the fullest when you're only making hundreds, that's not okay. How we think about spending money is in many ways just as important as how we think about earning it. And the harsh truth is many people aren't giving much thought to how they're spending those hard-earned dollars. Now, how many times have you seen people buy expensive cars and neglect the cost of higher insurance, expensive maintenance, gas, or people who buy larger homes than they need and end up having to furnish more space? The cost of fancy luxury things tends to come with a domino effect of even more cost. Now, notice that I said luxury things, not quality things, because just because something costs more doesn't always mean that it has better quality. Now, if you're watching this and have bad spending habits, stop operating in survival mode with your spending habits and start aligning your available funds with your values. In economics, there's a term referred to as utility, which is a metric that tells us the relative amount of satisfaction that a good or service brings us. As we think about spending money, our goal is to maximize the amount of utility that our purchases bring us. And in order to do so, we need to understand our needs and our wants. Only after our needs are met can we begin to think about our wants. In my life, I understand my needs to be food, shelter, clothes, and health. Now, that doesn't mean I'm here eating $100 Wagyu steaks for dinner or living in a penthouse. It just simply means that I can feed myself and have a roof over my head. After all my needs are met, that's where my wants can take shape. So if I want that Wagyu steak or a penthouse to live in, I can do all those things so long as my finances support it. Your list may look different, but first on my list of wants is ensuring my family's needs are met. That means my parents and siblings have the essential food, shelter, clothes, and health. Second, I value freedom and independence above most things. From a young age, I've always valued being independent because it means I can take care of myself, which comes with the freedom to make my own choices in this world. That said, I like to spend my money on freedom, which is why I'm on the path towards financial independence. I spend on freedom by buying assets that appreciate rather than depreciate in value. In other words, my stock investments, so that I can ultimately reach financial independence. Next on my list of values is experiences. I personally enjoy taking trips or going to events like concerts with friends and families to make good memories, so I'll spend money on that. Then there's good food and my more niche clothes or shoes because, I gotta look good to feel good. But hopefully you're beginning to see the hierarchy to how I decide to spend my money. What this does is it holds me accountable as I'm spending. Let's say today I buy some Jordans and they're, $200. If I'm at my parents' house the next week and see that we could use some groceries, I have to personally hold myself accountable because I just bought myself $200 Jordans, so I should be able to spend that amount or more on groceries considering I value my family's needs over my materialistic possessions. Now, maybe you're thinking, how about if you don't have another $200 to spare after buying the Jordans? And first off, I would have hoped to have learned to keep an emergency fund, but if not, this is something I should have preemptively avoided. The saying goes that if you can't buy it twice, you can't afford it, and that applies here. While buying the Jordans, I should have mentally acknowledged that I should be also ready to spend the same amount or more on things I value more, hopefully discouraging the purchase if it wasn't within my means. Now, this is just one example, but the goal is to bring rationale to your spending so that you spend intentionally on what you need, followed by what you want the most. Now, I challenge you to do the same exercise by asking yourself what your essential needs are, then make a list of what you value most in this world. Try not to think about what the media wants you to value, like a big home, cars, jewelry. There's no appearances to keep up here. But there's nothing wrong if you do value those things, as long as you can afford it. This should hopefully help you understand where your money should be going so that it brings the most amount of value to your life, not others. Now, if you made it to the end of the video and you're thinking, duh, all this seems pretty obvious, I would check your last month's bank statement and ask yourself if all of those transactions should have been made. Y'all know what it is. Until the next video, spend less than you make, invest the surplus, and avoid debt. Peace.